Welcome everyone to the November meeting of Shire of Wyndham East Kimberley. Start with a disclaimer that members of the public are advised that we'll declare the meeting open at, lost my clock, 5:05. Apologies for the delay. Start with the declaration. Members of the public are advised that recommendations to council contained within this agenda and decisions arising from the council meeting can be subject to alteration. Applicants and other interested parties should refrain from taking any action until such time as written advice is received confirming council's decisions with respect to any particular issue. Members of the public, please note that this meeting is being broadcast live and a video record will be made of these proceedings and published on the Shire's website, and declare the meeting open at 5:05. At item 2 of the agenda, record of attendance. With me there are four councillors in attendance in person and 2 attending via Teams today. In the room we have myself, Councillor Kane, Councillor Deere, Councillor Robinson. On Teams we have Councillor Timms, Councillor Bond. We have also in the room our CEO Vernon Lawrence. Apologies from all directors and 2 apologies from councillors Martin and Schaefer, and a leave of absence request has been approved for Councillor Gordon. At item 3 of the agenda, declarations of interest, and I've received none. At 4, response to previous public questions taken on notice, we have nil. 5, public question time. There have been 0 received prior to the meeting and there is no one in the gallery. So nil. 6, applications for leave of absence. We have nil received prior to the meeting. At 7, petitions, nil. At 8, confirmation of the minutes. Are there any queries or clarifications? Otherwise, I'm looking for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Robinson and a seconder. Councillor Deere. Against? All in favour?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how many hours. 5, was it? 6? 6-0. Move to the announcements by the person presiding at item 9. 31st of October, meeting with Marie Grunewald, MLC, attended by Shire President and CEO, Upper House Independent. 10th of November, discussion on youth matters at MG Corporation, attended by the Shire President and CEO. 11th of November was a council workshop with Hassel Studio consultant team for the Kununurra Reimagine project, attended by the Shire President, councillors and the CEO. 11th and 12th of November was a further workshop on the Kununurra Youth Night Space co-design, attended by the Director of Planning and Community Development. 14th of November was the Kimberley Regional Group Strategic Planning Session and our Kimberley Regional Group meeting held in Broome, attended by myself and the CEO. 19th of November was the Port of Wyndham Community Consultation Committee meeting, attended by the CEO. 20th of November was the Kununurra Town Centre Revitalisation Steering Group meeting, attended by myself, the Executive Manager Strategic Projects, the Director Planning and Community Development and Manager Economic Development. On the 21st of November was the Kimberley Zone meeting, attended by myself and the CEO. Also on the 21st, I'm not sure that there was a YYN meeting. Might cancel that one, and I didn't attend. On the 24th of November, being yesterday, was the audit exit meeting, attended by myself and the CEO and Councillor Robinson and Bond. And that are meetings for the month. We move on to items at 10, matters for which the meeting may be closed. We have 2 items. 16.1, the request for quotation RFQ 122526, provision of precast concrete products, and 16.2, Waterlily Place. At 11, deputations, we have nil. At reports, 12.1, matters arising from committees of council. On page 5 of the agenda, 12.1.1, consideration of recommendations contained within the minutes of the Audit, Finance and Risk Committee of the 25th of August 2025. Do we have any? Yeah.
So I'll move that in block.
Thank you. I can second that. Moved Councillor Robinson, seconded by myself. Anyone against? All in favour?
Yeah.
Yep. 6-0. I'll get through the pages. At page 8 of the agenda, at item 12.1.2, which is consideration of recommendations contained within the minutes of the Audit, Finance and Risk Committee meeting of the 10th of November 2025. Any clarifications, queries? Otherwise, looking for a mover en bloc. Councillor Robinson, the seconder, if I could.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Bond. Sorry, I did see your hand too, Timsy. Against? All in favour?
Yes.
6-0. Thank you. At page 11 of the agenda at item 12.1.3 is the consideration of recommendations contained within the minutes of the East Kimberley Regional Airport Committee meeting of the 12th of November 2025. I'm happy to move that one. If we have a second to Councillor Robinson. Against? All in favour?
Is that on block?
En bloc? Thank you. Better write that down for my benefit. 6-0. At page 14 of the agenda and from the Office of the CEO, at 12.2.1 is the standing item, outstanding actions from previous council resolutions. Any queries? Councillor Deere.
Just one thing, it notes in there was a meeting with the Water Corporation in November. I'm just wondering if there was any outcomes on that meeting, given there's a number of items of interest with the Water Corporation that can potentially be divulged or discussed, or just a summary of that meeting?
Councillor, yeah, sorry, I wasn't in that meeting, but my understanding is that Exec Manager Strategic Projects Stuart Dyson was in, Director Infrastructure Paul Webb was in those meetings, and the items discussed were the issues around the pumping station capacity at the local settling ponds. The wastewater down in Wyndham was discussed as well. Those were the two main items that were on the agenda. They did inquire about sewage in the port as well, but there was no information forthcoming on that item.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Deere. A matter dear to all our hearts, unfortunately, trying to get some resolutions. Any other queries, clarification sought? Otherwise, looking for a mover and a seconder for item 12.2.1. Councillor Timms and Councillor Robinson seconding. Against? All in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Thank you. At page 16 of the agenda at item 12.2.2, 2026 Council and Committee meeting dates. They are there in front of you. Any clarifications, questions? Otherwise, looking for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Kane, a seconder.
Yeah.
Councillor Bond. Against? All in favour?
Yeah.
Thank you. love to have a plan.
Mr. President, if I may make just a quick comment on the timetable. The one column is Wyndham Meet and Greet. I still have on our work program is to seek funding for audiovisual equipment down in Wyndham, that we can commence with having council meetings down in Wyndham again.
Thank you. I did mean to ask. Thank you for that. At page 19 of the agenda at item 12.2.3 is policy review, policy 1000, council briefing sessions. Any queries or questions? Otherwise, looking for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Robinson, Councillor Kane.
Yeah.
Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
Yep.
6-0. Page 22, again, policy review 12.2.4, policy 1003, attendance at events and functions. Any queries, clarifications? If not, mover and a seconder, if I could. Councillor
Yeah.
Kane and Councillor Bond seconding. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Thank you. At page 25 of the agenda, 12.2.5, again, policy review, policy 1004, elected member continuing professional development. Any?
Excuse me, David, just one clarification on that. There is just a slight wording change on the recommendation, and I'll put it up on screen for everyone to see. It just said endorse instead of adopt. Let me just get to the right one. And so we're just amending it to say adopts rather than endorses. And that, so there's no change to the context of the...
Adopt.
So it reads endorses the review of the policy, and then we're just going to actually adopt the revised.
Yep.
So with that change, I'll move that. If you haven't got any clarifications
No.
required.
Thank you. Councillor Robinson and the seconder, Councillor Kane. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Thank you. At page 28, item 12.2.6, again, policy review, policy 1008, public question time. Any queries? Otherwise, mover and a seconder, if I could. Councillor
Yeah.
Bond. Seconder, Councillor Kane. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0.
David, I think this is exactly the same adopts and revised.
Page 31, item 12.2.7, again, policy review, policy 1012, common seal. And I'm advised that we'll change the word endorses to adopt.
The revised policy.
Adopts the revised. Should that be two words changed? Yeah. Thank you. Adopts the revised policy. If everyone's comfortable with that, looking for a mover and a seconder if I could. Councillor Deere and Councillor Robinson. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Page 34 of the agenda, item 12.3, planning and community development. 12.3.1, the quarterly progress report, Q1, July to September 25-26. Any queries, questions on that one? If not, a mover and a seconder if I could. Thank you, Councillor Robinson. And Councillor
Yeah.
Bond. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. At page 38, 12.3.2, annual community grants 25-26. Any queries, questions?
Just one.
Councillor Robinson.
One quick query. I did query it at our briefing, but I haven't heard back from the director. But it does in the table in the agenda, it does highlight that the, let me pull it up, sorry. The Lake Argyle Swim has an amount of $50,000, but I'm just wondering if that should be represented differently, because I know it has a total of $50,000, but there is a one-off $15,000 amount on top of the 35, but then it represents the other amounts in the table are the 3-year funding amounts. I'm just wondering if that needs to be represented differently. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, Councillor Robertson, I can answer that. Yeah, I'm happy with it in the table because it's only for this year. Next year, when we bring it forward again, there'll be a different table with the actual amount that we've had. And there's a previous council report that indicates the additional 15 has been granted.
Comfortable, Councillor Robinson? Yep. Good. Thanks, CEO. Item 12.3.2, the annual community grants, mover and a seconder, if I could. Councillor Robinson. Councillor Kane. Against. All in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Thank you. At page 44 of the agenda, item 12.4, corporate services. 12.4.1, consideration of appointment for independent chair of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. CEO, nothing to speak to there particularly?
No, nothing to speak to at this point in time, Mr. President. This is just the first step in us having to have an independent chair of the audit committee and a deputy chair. As the officer recommendation states, is that we have found a chair. We are still looking for a deputy chair, so the legislation hasn't been enacted at this point in time, so it's not effective. So we still have a little bit of time up our sleeves in order to get a deputy.
Thank you for that. If there are no other queries, looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Robinson, Councillor Bond. Against, all in favour?
Yep.
6-0. Page 48 of the agenda, 12.4.2, the monthly financial report. Any questions? If not, looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Kane and Councillor Robinson seconding. And against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Page 50 of the agenda, item 12.4.3, list of accounts paid from the Municipal Fund and Trust Fund. Any queries? If not, looking for a mover and a seconder, if I could, please.
Yeah.
Councillor Bond, Councillor Deere to second. Against, all in favour?
Yep.
6-0.
Yep.
Page 53 of the agenda at item 12.4.4, again, policy review document, policy 2004 purchasing. Any queries? If not, looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Deere and a seconder, Councillor Bond. Against, all in favour?
Yep.
Yeah.
6-0. Page 56, item 12.4.5. This is a new policy, policy 2019, financial sustainability. Any queries? If not, a mover and a second. Councillor Robinson moving and a seconder. Councillor Timms. Thank you. Against, all in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Page 59, item 12.4.6, customer services commitment. Any queries? Councillor Robinson.
So this is where the endorsers comes into play, is it? the CEO, because this is an operational charter. So we're just endorsing that. It's not our document, is it?
No, it's just an internal operation. Yep.
Yep. Thank you for that point. Any other questions? If not, looking for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Kane and a seconder. Councillor Bond. Against? All in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. At page 62, item department is 12.5 infrastructure. Item number is 12.5.1, the asset management strategy draft. Been asked to endorse this draft strategic asset management plan. Any queries? Not looking for a move.
Just quickly, sorry.
Thanks,
So
Councillor Robinson.
the officer's recommendation that the Audit and Risk Committee recommend that council endorse the draft strategic asset management plan as a guiding framework for the management and optimisation of the Shire assets. So what's council doing here?
Yeah, no, I can see your issue there, Councillor Robertson.
Is it? Yes.
It's that
So, is it a draft strategic asset management plan, or is it the actual strategic asset management plan?
it wasn't drafted that at the time it went up to the Audit and Risk Committee, but it's our strategic asset management plan. So the officer recommendation should read is that council endorse the strategic asset management plan as a guiding framework for the management and optimisation of Shire assets.
So it looks like the draft's just been carried over from a previous
from the
version.
briefing.
So I think that's an administrative
Yeah,
correction.
we'll correct that in the heading, and the officer recommendation. It doesn't change the nature of the recommendation, so we can correct that administratively as well.
Okay, comfortable to move that, Councillor Robinson, and a seconder, if I could, please. Councillor Deer, against? All in favour?
Yeah.
6-0. Thank you. We move on to item 13, motions of which previous notice has been given, and I have nil. At item 14, questions by members of which due notice has been given, and we have nil. 15, urgent business approved by the person presiding or by decision. I have nothing, not seeing anything, so we have nil. At 16, as matters behind closed doors, I'd like to move that we close the meeting to members of the public at 17:28, to consider matters behind closed doors. So I'm moving, seconded, Councillor Robinson, against, all in favour, 6-0.
Yep.
Thank you. I'll just do the appropriate that out for the benefit of the live stream.
Yep.
Thank you. Just read. Thank you. That's both of them.
We're good.
I need to wait for councillor to return to. He is. Snuck in while I had my head down. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you. We're now back in open meeting. We've just dealt with matters behind closed doors at item 16.1, the request for quotation RFQ 122526, provision of precast concrete products. Council has moved and voted 6-0 that Council 1 accepts the quotation submitted by Wholesome Australia Proprietary Limited, Humes Division, ABN 87099732 for the provision of precast concrete products under contract RFQ 122526 in accordance with the submitted schedule of rates and for a period of 3 years with 2 one-year extension periods. And 2, delegates the formation of the contract to the Chief Executive Officer subject to any variation of a minor nature prior to entry to contract. And that was moved by Councillor Deere, seconded by Councillor Bond, and voted 6-0. The second item behind closed doors was item 16.2 at Water Lily Place. Council has moved that Council 1 awards separable portion 1, the site preparation and civil works, and separable portion 2, the modular unit supply and installation for the Water Lily Place residential development, to WBS Modular trading as Evoke Living Homes for a total contract value of $6,795,585, excluding GST. And 2, require that the development application plans submitted by Evoke Living Homes be reviewed and amended to meet the residential design codes of Western Australia to the satisfaction of the Chief Executive Officer. And point 3, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to execute the contract documentation and finalise project delivery requirements in accordance with approved 25-26 budget and the grant agreement executed with the Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development. That item was moved by Councillor Deere, seconded by Councillor Bond. Sorry, got that wrong. It was moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Robinson, and the vote was 6-0. Just for clarity, we had previously awarded separable portion 2 to the same entity. It has become clear that separable portion 1 can go to the same entity, but it was simpler to include them as 2 separate portions rather than combining them in one single contract. Thank you all. And I would like to declare the meeting closed at 17:93 and thank you all for your attention and attendance. 17:39. Whatever I said was wrong. Thank you all for your attendance. And have a good night.
you.
Thanks, Keita.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
Scott.
Scott.
Thanks, Kida.
Thank you.